Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. And we are back for our recap of Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 14, Choosing Paths. It is Tuesday. Happy terrific
Choosing
Tuesday.
sides.
Huh?
Choosing sides.
Choosing sides. Okay, see, one said choosing paths, the other said choosing sides. I don't know what I was looking at, but here we are tonight to recap. And we are choosing sides, okay? And I guess we choosing paths too, because some might walk down the path of season 12 and others may not. But we're gonna get into it and figure out. Good evening, Auntie. How you doing?
How you doing?
Look, how you doing? Look, we doing good, okay?
Child.
Apparently,
because we could call our family and friends and do what the heck we want to do. We feel good.
Listen, but we out the luxury jail, okay? We in the hospital. We meeting nurses and everybody. The attorney is on the way. Wendy getting out, okay? She getting free. Set Wendy free. Well, Auntie.
Yes.
We are on 14. We got one more episode left.
Thank God.
Have a reunion. And I don't know how people gonna feel when I say this, but I am sick of the Married to the Medicine. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. Y'all are too old in your 60s and 50s. Y'all are too educated as doctors. Y'all are y'all got children. Y'all got some of you got grandchildren. I mean, we just too old to be making the decisions that we are making as individuals and as a cast on a show. I am really blown aback and taken aback by the choices that the castmates have made in regards to this King and Greg situation. It's just really off-putting to me. It really, really is. So I'm ready for this season to be over. I think just like Atlanta, I'm ready for a shakeup because I'm sick of these ladies. I'm really, really, yes, a reboot soon. I agree with you in my opinion. We need a reboot very soon because I'm over the girls completely.
Done, finito, finished, had enough. It's the foolery. It's the immaturity.
Yes.
And you talk about doctors, and then 2 out of the group are psychiatrists. You wonder why the people in the streets can't get their life right. Because when you go see a therapist, the therapist is just about as jacked up as you.
Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Literally.
How the therapist gonna help you and they can't even help themselves? I would not go on nobody's TV claiming I'm a whole therapist and I'm on the TV acting just as foolish and ain't got no common sense.
None.
Dr. Mimi, you cute. Go sit down.
Several.
Dr. G, you have no emotional maturity. Who is he helping and who is she helping?
Sad. It's
shameful. To be sweet tea friend in the blink of an eye, she done left her by the curb.
Switched up, honey. Okay. Flip the switch. Well, listen, everybody, we are here. We are back. Thank you for joining us. We are live on both channels. If you are on Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva, make sure you go over to Royaire's World, hit the like button and subscribe. And if you're on Royaire's World, please go over to Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva, hit the like button and subscribe over there as well. And make sure you turn your notification bells on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. We are here to recap Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 14, Choosing Sides. And it's been a messy season so far, y'all. We have made it through most of the season. They have announced that next week is going to be the season finale, and it's looking like thank God, okay, because I'm over it. It's like we're gonna have a 3-part reunion to this season as well. So, we're gonna wrap up, with our last episode next week. We'll do our 3-part reunion, and then we will be complete with Married to Medicine. But welcome one, welcome all. If this is your first time, welcome in the building. If not, welcome back. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on both channels. We are live in the chat, so leave your live thoughts and opinions down in the comment section as we will read those. And then if you can do us one more favor, share this video with any and everybody that you know that watches Married to Medicine. We are getting ready to give our final recap for episode 14, season 11, choosing sides. So just a little update from where we have kind of left off. So as you know, we went to the couples trip. We had the couples trip. We went to Key West, and it was an epic fail. Nothing was positive about the couples trip. I learned nothing about anybody new. It was just a hot mess. Okay, we came back from the couples trip. Toya and Eugene are celebrating 14 years of marriage, I believe it was, either 14 or 16, one or the other. 16 years of marriage, you know, and so they're going to be having a ball. And so it is Georgington's couple of the year, Sir Eugene and Lady Toya, okay? And it's Bridgerton style, okay? So we're going straight there, okay? So we have had a rehearsal for that. We ended off last week with all of the ladies except for Letitia going to Quad's place and basically agreeing that Quad is not the problem, that she's the solution, and that she needs to stay in the group. Now, you know, we need to kick Letitia to the curb is how I took it. You know, Phaedra has left the show. She's no longer going to be a part of these Mean Girls. And so that's what we kind of pick up in this episode. So as we go into this new episode, Toya, she has got some hair for her son. He wanted some braids, some slick backs, okay? So he got his slick backs. He left his weave downstairs. Toya said, here's your weave, baby. It's in the room, okay? We have Greg and Letitia in the kitchen. Letitia's looks like she's washing dishes and making some tea. She said, Greg, did you want some? He said, yeah, I'll take some. He here for the tea, okay? We go to Heavenly and Damon's house. Seems like, you know, Alora is spending too much of their good money, okay? And so they had to have a little conversation with Alora about her spending habits. Well, Damon said, let's check up on the spending habits. She got a spending. We're supposed to be boycotting Target. She got a Target bill. She got a bill down at the nail salon. She got food orders and everything else going on. She ain't learned nothing. Heavenly said, well, let's call her. Heavenly called her. She said, Mama, I ain't got time to talk to you. Click. She done hung up on Heavenly. It's amazing how our children turned out exactly like us. Is it not?
Woo, woo, woo. Okay.
So we roll into our first scene with Dr. Jackie at her office, and Simone is bringing a little lunch for the ladies to have. Jackie is sitting down, writing her little thank you cards and congratulation cards to her newest patients who have given birth. And so she said, well, listen, girl, do you still write out these little cards for the people? And Simone said, no, but that's cute. I don't have to do it, though, because I'm actually there for my deliveries and to congratulate them in person, okay? Ooh, shade, Simone.
The shade. The shade.
So,
that was cute, though. That was
cute. It was so funny. And I thought that was really cute of Jackie to send little notes and from the doctor. So that was really nice. But, Jackie gives a little update on Phaedra with Simone. She says she did go by, and see Phaedra after, Phaedra, dodging calls and not responding. She just went over there and knock, 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 okay? And so she said, I did get the $40,000 that Phaedra promised us. And Phaedra wrote out her check for $40,006.76, okay? And she handed over her check and she said, I don't write checks that my ass can't cash, okay? Clear. And so she got that amount of money. So the $100,000 has been complete to Kara's foundation. And so I want to say, I think it was Cares for Moms, I believe it was, something like that. Yeah. So they did complete that foundation, which congratulations. Thank y'all for coming through with that money for that event. So that was really nice that they fulfilled that commitment. Jackie says that Phaedra is not coming back around the group. She does not do these fake girls. She does not do mean girl behavior. It's not her thing. And she also, told Simone that, she tried to get, ask all the questions and dig down deep and figure out what exactly went wrong with Phaedra and the ladies. And so Jackie explained that Phaedra said it was just a little too much for Apollo to come on the couples trip. Apollo gets jealous, when Phaedra brings other men around him that she is possibly dating. And, it was just a whole situation that Phaedra could not handle, according to Jackie. And so, Jackie did say that, well, it was my understanding that you knew Apollo was coming, and, she was just kind of confused and struck, shockingly that Phaedra decided to continue to leave. And so Simone said, well, that's very interesting because you knew that Apollo has issues with you having other men around you. and you decided to bring his best friend, to the couple strip who he's friends with. So you kind of brought it upon yourself. And Jackie said, well, that's how I seen it too. But she no longer wants to be with us, and so it is what it is. Simone said that she did reach out to Phaedra, but, there's no more relationship between them, so they're good on that. Simone also brought up the fact that she and Cecil did have a conversation with Greg, and Greg made a video about how he was feeling in regards to this whole situation with King and Quad and the fight and everything. And so she went ahead and pulled out her phone and showed the video to Jackie, Greg's song, and Jackie was speechless with laughter. And, she said it looked like he did a little Michael Jackson move at the end. They are very confused on what's going to happen with the circle, because it's kind of hard to do group events when certain individuals cannot be invited to the group, because there have been alleged charges filed against King. And so the ladies are now trying to figure out how are we going to move forward as a group with all of this mess and foolishness that has gone down so far. Your thoughts? Your thoughts?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Your thoughts and opinions on the first couple of moments.
So Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, I love those two together.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hate that Dr. Heavenly is intertwined in the middle of the magic between Simone and Dr. Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
So them sitting there having a conversation, and the little shade that was thrown by Simone, I thought it was super cute. The way that Phaedra, Phaedra is Phaedra. Phaedra do reality TV, and you ain't never going to trump her, okay? So Phaedra says she ain't coming back, and that was that. So Dr. Jackie knew what she was really doing. Dr. Jackie thought she could go over there and they could suck the last few moments out of Phaedra and get her, at the what do you call it? At the reunion and get some last final pumps or whatever out of her. But Phaedra said, no, deuces, she's good. And honey, when Phaedra just sat there at the table and wrote the check, she another one. That's money. That's money. She wrote the check. And my thing is, I'm still very disappointed in all the doctors who came nowhere near writing a check to the amount that Phaedra wrote. So sometimes people are stupid and foolish. I would have never let that money go off of our show. If anything, I would have been encouraging Bravo and whoever else. Let Phaedra do both shows. What do we care? As long as we're going to keep our ratings up and get our little shimmy shenanigans over here. And then after she finished, let her go over and film for Roa. So I think that it was an epic fail by the whole cast of Married to Medicine by letting Phaedra go. Okay, so Phaedra wrote that check. They talked about, it was funny how they laughed about Dr. G's rap song. I'm here for it. Okay, he said, "Miss me with the BS." Okay, he got a new wife. I want them to put that on the streaming services. He need to call Candy Burris and have her hype it up. Listen, if she helped what is her daughter name? And she helped, what is her name? Don't be tardy for the party.
Kim Zolciak.
Kim Zolciak make a whole thing out of Don't Be Tardy for the Party. Surely she can help Greg make this song a little something. So I was here for it. And then you talked about the Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contessa conversation.
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet. Oh, the little snippets before that. I always love the little snippets. I think they're cute. That's all I got on that. But yeah, I do. I always love. I think that's the magic of Married to Medicine when they have these little snippets, because they give a good oomph to the whole episode.
It's that family moment, that family montage, the couple moment. Like it brings us back in from all the extra foolishness that's going on the show. Lorraine B says, so why is Dr. Heavenly out here on YouTube saying that Phaedra did not pay the money to the charity when we clearly see Phaedra wrote the check months ago?
Because Dr. Heavenly is with the foolery. And that's a point blank in a period.
Literally.
She's with the foolery. And Dr. Heavenly will do anything. You know, they talk about YouTubers sometimes, but Dr. Heavenly will literally do anything for a click and a view.
Literally.
Yep. And Paula, you hit the nail on the head.
Right
Jackie gave Fraser a big thank you because she was only trying to raise 20,000 for the charity, and the other ladies didn't even want to donate. Paula, you are absolutely correct. And now, as a result of Phaedra, that charity got $100,000.
Yes.
She should be giving her a big thank you. And
huge
trust
thank
me,
you.
what do they call it? The Met Gala? And next year, the Met Gala ain't going to be worth a dime.
Nothing.
It's going to be worth a dime because you got a bunch of cheap co-workers that don't want to, pay up. Everybody's saying they're not getting our notifications.
Everybody's been telling me that too. So I would suggest to everyone, if you can, when you have time, not right now, but when you have time, go to our channels, turn your notification bells on off all the way, no notifications, and then go back in and put your notification bells on all. That way you will see all of the notifications, hopefully going forward, anytime we post, go live, or anything like that. So forgive us, but if you just do that for us, turn them on off all the way and then turn them back on all, we would greatly appreciate that. Hopefully that'll fix that issue that we got going on. Thank you so much, Patricia. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to all of you who are in the building today. So let's get on with Contessa and Heavenly. So Contessa and Heavenly, they are having a lunch meeting. You know, it seems like that we're trying to move forward and get into a better footing space, you know, with each other after everything that has happened so far, you know, in their relationship. So Contessa, you know, she said since the girls' trip that her and Heavenly have had a decent relationship so far. They've been cordial, they've been respectful of one another, and so it seems like that they can finally sit down, have a conversation, and kind of work through some things, you know, according to everything. Okay, so you know, Heavenly comes in, she orders her little drinks, and so Heavenly wants to know, you know, how is Contessa doing now? Contessa says she's doing okay. You know, things are going well. She's just trying to press forward and move in a better direction, you know, in regards to their relationship. You know, a lot happened between their breakdown. And, you know, Heavenly said that her issue is that Contessa continuously got on TV, got on live or whatever, always talking bad about her husband. And she said, if you're going to stay with the man, shut up. Stop talking about him. That was where she felt like the issue lied between her and Contessa. And Contessa, you know, it seems like, in my opinion, Contessa has a couple of issues with Heavenly. That may have been one of the issues, but Contessa says in this episode that her main issue was that Heavenly got on YouTube Live and called her husband abusive. That was her issue. And so Heavenly said that was not our original issue. That's not what happened. That ain't how things went down, blase, blase, blah. And so, you know, they kind of have a back and forth of how they each feel and see things went down. You know, Contessa said, even if that was not the main issue, nobody is going to be comfortable with you calling their husband abusive or anything else by that matter. And so that is where Contessa stood on that situation. And Heavenly said, well, it doesn't look like that we're going to come to an agreement on anything. So how about we just decide to agree to disagree and move on? Contessa says she can do that and we can move on. Contessa also talked about, you know, it seems like they're having a little medical mission this year as well. Contessa is the chair for the Diabetes Association in Georgia. And so she is going to be hosting a day where she talks about diabetes. She sees diabetic patients, gives them information about their health, but she also wants the other doctors to come along and offer their services as well. You know, she wants to invite Letitia and Greg and King and Quad. Now, you know, Heavenly felt like that was not a good idea. She said it was not smart. You know, and you know, you need to reconsider that. But Contessa sees things her way, she's gonna follow through, and Heavenly sees things her way, she's gonna follow through as well and give her opinion. Your thoughts on that?
This luncheon gave me a headache. I was just like, you know what? It's just the foolery of it all, Royaire. You know, those coming together. And listen, Contessa, she ain't playing with that body. She must live in the gym, okay? She doing squats. She's doing what she's doing arm action. Listen, shout out to Contessa with the body. You know, the thing is with there's people that just not going to get along. And I think that Dr. Heavenly has her personality, Contessa has hers. And I will say this, when you're friends with somebody, Royaire, when you're friends with somebody, you share a lot of your personal information.
Yes.
And I'm that girl that, you know, when no matter what, if I was friends with somebody and then I'm no longer friends with them, I'm still not going to tell their business. I'm not going to tell what they told me when we was good in their personal business. I'm just not that girl, and I never was, and I never will be, right? So I know we all have a tendency of telling the bad parts of our relationship sometime. And you know, we don't tell the good parts. We tell when we're hurting and we're having a bad moment in our relationship, right? But that doesn't mean that there wasn't great moments in your relationship that you kind of just didn't talk about. So I feel all day long that Heavenly was wrong for what she shared on the YouTube streets and the inside information that Contessa shared with her, because every time you mention Daddy, Dr. Heavenly falls all the way out and she loses her natural mind. She was ready to beat Sweet Tea up in the church when Sweet Tea told her, well, you told me this about Daddy and you had took a frying pan to his head and you did think that he was cheating. She lost her mind. So I'll never understand why somebody will be okay with doing something to someone else and they know if that same thing was done to them, they wouldn't like it. So, you know, these two agreed that they're going to just have to agree to disagree. And, you know, they kind of, you know, left it at that and kind of made up. But as we're going to see when we talk about the other scenes, is that lasted for about 2.2 seconds. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, I was watching that scene and I was saying to myself, oh, this is just, you know, I guess they needed something to do because this was just bogus. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't get all soft and pink during it. Matter of fact, I was laying on my couch like this, like,
yeah.
My
issue with this scene was, and you know, I am a lover of Heavenly. You know, I love Auntie Heavenly to death, but I don't like some of the things that she does. I was definitely on her side, you know, when all of that first came out, because me personally, I don't recall that Heavenly shared anything that was not seen on TV. But I am disappointed in the fact that you did call that man abusive on YouTube. And I feel that at least you could have apologized for that. At least I feel that there was responsibility on both ends, and I don't feel like that either one of them took the opportunity to apologize and to, you know, try to fix things from both ends, because both of them played a part in it. Contessa was getting up on the TV screen and on YouTube talking about her husband, and Heavenly said some things that were not so kind to be a friend for you to say about a friend. It just wasn't okay. And so I was looking for accountability to be played on both parts. Nobody took accountability for anything that they did, and I was just totally disappointed. It was a waste of a time, scene, and season. It was just a waste, and I'm just super disappointed that nobody chose to be the bigger person and actually, you know, apologize and move forward for the actions that both of them played in this situation. To me, it wasn't one-sided or another-sided. Everybody played a part. Both parties needed to apologize. They did not do that. So I'm really just over the situation at this point. Just done with it.
So am I.
Yeah. So let's see. We have a stopover by Eugene and Toya's home. You know, Eugene has broken his toe. Eugene, going to pull out the potions over there down at the joint, sir. Get you some potions and get it together, okay? Because you got to work. Toya, she can't have no man out of work. Y'all got trips to take. So, you know, Toya and the boys were out riding around in their golf cart, and they did not charge the golf cart. So Eugene had to spend money again to get a tow truck to get the golf cart back to the house. And so he was standing behind the tow truck and the flatbed fell on his foot. So boom, that's what happened with his foot, everybody. Toya, while Eugene was kind of doctoring himself up. And that was my other thing. The least Toya could have done was got down and put the Band-Aid on the man and put some cream on it. Girl, be a wife. Help the man out. But anyways, Toya, was telling Eugene that she, did something that he said probably wasn't a good idea. She did go and meet with Letitia and tell Letitia that, you need to look at yourself. You need to look at your husband, and y'all need to think about some things and take some reflection and look at the actions that you guys took according to the things that happened to you guys. And so, Eugene, kind of felt that maybe, Letitia and Greg feel some type of way because last year we were not cool with Quad. We weren't in a good place. And so, when we had issues with them, they took our side. And so maybe they could be feeling some type of way because we have not taken their side in the situation that has happened with Greg and Quad. And Eugene said he's very understanding of that. Well, Toya said, listen, if this is affecting your marriage, your family, and everything else, you need to take a step all the way back and back up from the group and not be a part of anything. I tried to get her to have a conversation with Greg again. I tried to get her to look at her side of things. I tried to get her to take accountability and responsibility and just try to think about it. She don't want to do that. So maybe she don't need to be a part of the group, according to Toya. Eugene said, well, okay, wife. She said, no, just say yes, wife. Yes, I hear you. He said, yes, wife, I hear you. And they went on about their day. I'll tie in this other scene as well real quick since we're here. Let's see. Simone, excuse me. Got a little lost. Quad set up a date at home. Okay. Now, Quad, you're supposed to be the cook of the show, honey. You're supposed to be the cook and the girl that does it all and can do it all. But you always ordering out and doing the most here lately in these couple of episodes we've been seeing. But anyways, Quad set up a little date for the jacuzzi, for them to go out to the jacuzzi and, have a little spa moment. And so Quad said, come on in, babe, change into your trunks. Let's go out to the pool, okay? So Quad said that they've been dating for 2 years now. And if Quad is not, at King's house, King is at her house. And so they kind of just, bounce back and forth. Quad feels that, she would really love King to move into her home. King, is always over there. And so it would just be perfect for her, for him to move into her home. And so King is like, listen, I'm not moving into your home. That's just not how things work. I think we should buy a place together. And so Quad says, well, why can't you set aside your ego and move into my home and just let it be what it be? And he said, that's just not the order of things. That's not how things go down. He said, well, at the same token, he kind of feels that Quad is basing her previous relationship onto this new relationship, constantly asking him to take out the trash and constantly having him do things that Greg didn't do, and it seems like it's becoming a little bit much for King, okay? Because King said, listen, I ain't him. I'm not finna do all of that, okay? You either gonna take me for how I am, I have nothing at all, okay? And so he said, we can, continue this conversation, but I'm pretty sure you're going to see things my way. Quad said, well, listen, I've already been in a situation where a man held a house over me and blah, 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 blah. He said, well, put your house up for rent and you can move in with me together. That still was not enough for Quad. Like I said, King said, we'll see how this conversation goes. And that was pretty much the ending of that scene. So let's recap those two scenes. We had King and Quad, and then we had Toya and Eugene.
Well, the couples, right? Mm-hmm. So Toya and Dr. and Eugene. Toya, I like Toya, but I thought this whole scene was messy. Just like, it got you in a lot of trouble when you was going up in Dr. Eugene's face. I'm trying to tell him what to do and how to respond to things. We watch you over the seasons, girl. You and Dr. Eugene are on your better side right now. Mm-hmm. But we seen y'all go through it. Okay, we seen y'all go through it. I think when anybody wants to tell a husband and wife couple how they should feel and respond to something, I think it's just messy, right? So I'll say this. I don't like the conversation that none of them are having surrounded about how Sweet Tea and Dr. G should handle King. So I thought it was just a hot, stinking, nasty, filthy absolutely ridiculous mess, right? So I didn't like the conversation. Yeah, they're celebrating their 16th anniversary. She told Sweet Tea to go talk to her husband. No, that's not what you do. You don't go tell your husband how to feel. They'll have a conversation. You let your husband have his feelings and you have yours, right? And you can encourage your husband, but again, the reason why I'm not going for this nonsense or how they totally feel about what do you call it, about Dr. G and Dr. And Sweet Tea is because all of them get in their bag of feelings when it's their own personal relationship. And the biggest faux pas I could think of, when Dr. Jackie just last season fell all the way out. She passed out, was boo-hoo crying just because they was going to go on a trip where her man cheated. Mm-hmm. So you can have the right to not want to speak to Simone and fall out crying just because somebody picked a place that your husband cheated, but somebody could be on the beach, take their shirt off, run after Dr. G, and everybody thinks that's cool. And they're going to choose a non-medical person. They're choosing King and Quad over Married to Medicine.
Make sense. Somebody make it make sense. Like, what the hell? What in the world?
You want a couple that's not married, that's not even in medicine, and you gonna pick them over Dr. G, who is medicine. And y'all know him longer. It just don't make no sense to me whatsoever. But if that's what y'all doing, that's what y'all doing. Okay. So now when we go the Quad and King, I understand what she's saying. One, and this ain't Diva words, this came out of a Sweet Tea mouth, and she said that this is what Dr. Heavenly told her. Dr. Heavenly told her to please come on the show because Quad need the money. Okay. So Quad can't afford that house. I don't care what she say without the Married to Medicine money. So now Quad got this boyfriend. Of course she need him to come into that house, because who's renting out that house for how much money? That house is huge. So who's going to rent it out for that much money? So there's no way she's going to be able to get a separate place with King and still try to maintain or do whatever in that house. And from what I heard, there are other people live in that house with her. So no, I don't want to move in as a man into your home. And I don't want to move in because you already got a whole bunch of roommates. So I'm good. If we're going to do this, as a man, I'm going to stand on business. You can keep your house, but we will have to get something together. Mm-hmm. And King stood on business. He told her in 7 different ways, no, 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 and no.
My issue with this Quad and King situation, well, not even Quad and King, my issue with Quad is, why does everybody have to break their boundaries and break their rules and break their ego to please you? It seems like in every relationship, be it friendship, marriage, boyfriend, whatever, everybody has to bow down to Quad and allow Quad to have her way for Quad to be happy. When in essence, a relationship and a marriage is about sacrifice on both ends. Where is your sacrifice, Quad? This is why you don't have friends continuously. This is why you and Greg didn't work. And according to how we're looking at things now, this ain't why you and King gonna work.
Oh my God.
You want this man to break down as a man, and not to say that he can't as a man, but if he's open and willing to say, let's go in 50-50 and buy a home together. He's not saying, let me buy the house and you move in. He's saying, let's do this together.
Right.
But you want him to move into a house that you bought on your own so that when things don't work out, you can kick him out like Greg did you.
Well, let me add this to this scenario here. What is with everybody moving in before they even are engaged or about to get married? You see, this didn't work out for Kiara, K, whatever, or Potomac. I'm not doing all. We too grown for all of this.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not doing all of that. Or no. What is our future here? No, I'm not doing a play, and I'm a whole adult. No, if you want this, you come get this, and you put a ring on it, like Beyonce said. That's it, and that's all.
Period. Yeah, I feel like Quad has a lot of issues that she needs to work out. Greg was not the only one with issues in this marriage. Quad has issues too, and she needs to fess up to her. She's got those issues, and she needs to deal with them. Just like Greg is a problem, Quad is just as much as a problem. Because if you weren't, we wouldn't have all of these seasons that every lady is always having an issue or falling out or not agreeing or not wanting to be around you. Just last season, none of these girls wanted to be in your presence. None of them.
They voted her off the island.
They voted you off, including your friend Heavenly. Heavenly did not save you. She sent you packing. Heavenly didn't leave the trip either. She stayed on the trip with the rest of the ladies. So who's the problem?
I don't want no fair weather friends. I'm good.
Yeah, no.
I'm good. And then as soon as Quad don't suit them anymore, they're going to vote her off the island again. Give me a break. Give me a break.
And last I checked, Greg was the one to call the police on Quad when they first got married because she had a mug shot too.
You better talk.
So obviously there's abuse.
Relationship.
There's abuse on both sides. So everybody needs to take accountability and responsibility for the parts that they play in their situations. Everybody.
Let's do this for you. Let's do this. Just last season, you came to the finale asking Sweet Tea, can you give him a hug?
You went to her bridal shower, but you don't want to be around this person. Somebody make it make sense.
You just said you're going to throw their baby shower. I mean, do they think we stupid while we watching the TV? Do you want us to believe our own eyes and ears is lying to us? You sat there and said, I'll give y'all the baby shower. So this man is so abusive. He mentally destroyed you. And you're going to turn around and say, I'll give the baby shower. They said a drunk mind speaks a sober heart.
Well, yeah. In regards to Eugene and Toya, I totally agree with Eugene. Now, last I checked, Toya and Eugene was mad with Quad because she tried to accuse them, the Harrises, of breaking in to Anila and her husband's home. Those are the accusations that Quad made against her fellow castmates, her fellow brothers and sisters. That's what Quad said. And now, y'all jump ship from Letitia and Greg to get on Quad's side. The very individual who was willing to lie on y'all for a friend that she ain't even talking to no more, Anila.
But wait a minute. How about Anila been at the last couple of things? She was at the dance rehearsal. It's the foolery, if you ask me.
It's the stupidness.
Yeah.
It's the stupidness.
Yeah.
But I agree with Greg. It would make sense. I would feel some type of way too. I was all gung-ho for Greg and Letitia last season. Everybody hated Letitia. But now the Quad has come back. I don't know what changed because nothing has changed to me. Her behavior is still the same. She's still talking out the side of her neck. She's still disrespectful. It's still all about Quad. But now we done jump ship. I don't get it. But yeah. So we go to Cecil. And let me tell you something about Cecil and Simone and their kids. This is disappointing. This is embarrassing. This is
Royaire, that house was so dirty, but go ahead. I was embarrassed.
Nasty and tea. Okay. Nasty and tea. Now, I'm not the cleanest person in the world, but come on now, people.
I ain't Martha Stewart, but I mean, that was just disgusting. Y'all knew it was about to be a whole scene.
And you knew cameras was coming, and this is how you allow cameras to come into y'all home?
And can we get a haircut?
Okay.
Can we throw on something?
So Simone and Cecil decide to go over to the boys' home. And so Simone is knocking on the door and knocking and knocking and knocking. And the boys are sitting on the couch, just doing whatever they want to do, having their little conversation. I think they were talking about going to the Pow Pow range tomorrow. And so Simone finally just decided to use her key and walk on in the door. Hello? Y'all didn't hear me knocking at the door? And the boy said, but whatever. So, Simone comes in and she said, well, I came to check the place and see how things was going. We got a flashback of the previous time she came over and she walked in and it stank so bad she almost fell out, okay? Cecil and Simone, they cleaned up the place. They charged the boys about $420, maybe somewhere around there. Simone said the boys didn't pay the bill. This place is still nasty. They don't pay no rent. They don't pay no bills. They are completely disrespecting Simone and Cecil's home that they bought for the boys, okay? Well, Simone said it's time for a new sheriff in town, okay? We got some new rules, okay? So we've decided that we need a copy of everyone's pay stubs in this house. We're going to take a percentage of 5% of everybody's paycheck because the rent is $21.75 a month. The electricity is $150. The water is $65. We're going to split it down the middle and everybody is going to pay 5% of the portions that they have of the bills, okay? The boys did not seem too happy about it, but it looks like they're going to oblige because Simone said, if you don't, you will be moving back home. And me and Daddy have a lot of fun at home. So I'm pretty sure you do not want to be back at home with us, okay? So Cecil was there as well. They came up with the new agreement. They're going to send their pay stubs over to Simone and Cecil, and they're going to start paying bills and hopefully keeping the place a little better kept, so that they can stay in or they're going to be moving back home, okay? I'll stop there because our last scene is coming up and it's pretty big. So I'll stop there. We can talk about that for a second.
Okay. This condo was a hot, stinking, filthy, nasty mess. Mm-hmm. And the kids represented the condo. They looked a hot, stinking, filthy, nasty mess. They needed a haircut.
They reflected their home.
They needed a
haircut. Diva. They look like what they've been through.
They look like what The furniture in the condo is hideous.
Yes.
Hideous. That condo it's just a mess, right? Yes, they do, Jay. They want to ice them out. But you know what, though? Sometimes when you ice people out, just to back up to that, it comes back to bite you. Quad and King is not married to medicine. Period.
And in the words of Nene, you never win when you play dirty.
Play dirty. I don't care what these men, even the men look stupid to me. Sitting there talking around like Dr. G. This man, I don't want to back up because it pissing me off. So let me talk about this condo. The condo was a hot, stinking, nasty, filthy mess. Okay, I love the way Simone was sitting there, breaking down the bills or whatever the case may be.
Thank you for joining us, Tiffany. We appreciate you. Tiffany said, "I'm just watching the recap. I stopped watching 4 episodes ago. I can't stand the way all of them treat Sweet Tea." Agree.
Tiffany, I agree with you.
Thank you for staying in tune with us and watching with us. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Yeah, I agree with you. The way they treat Sweet Tea is disgusting. Sometimes, and I don't mind because me, I give everything I have to my kid, but you do gotta put your foot down a little bit and you gotta let them know y'all gonna pay something. You're gonna pay something because nowhere do you live for free. And that house looked like it smelled like feet. Child.
Look, it smelled like shit, grits, and all the trimmings. Okay.
It was disgusting. Yeah. it just, I don't, I was just like, this is a mess, and they could have did better knowing that the cameras was coming. I mean, it was garbage. It was stuff in the sink. The room was dirty. The living room was dirty. I mean, it was just disgusting. Yeah, those boys need to be evicted. That you know what, Lexi? I'm gonna end it there. Evict them.
Go away.
Make them come back home, not have their own freedom, and then see if they can go back to the condo and keep it clean.
Yeah.
And they will be paying something.
Something.
Yeah.
I agree with Lexi here. Cecil and Simone enable their boys' behavior. More so to me, Cecil, because he just sat there laughing and giggling with the boys. He don't take anything serious, which is why the boys don't take anything serious. Messy. Yeah. I think that they definitely need to teach the boys to be a little bit more appreciative of how blessed they are. A lot of people do not have the opportunity for their parents to buy them a place and pay for everything, and they just come and go as they please and treat it how they are. It's just very disrespectful. And like Simone said, she just wants her boys to at least be appreciative of what she's doing. She's paid for their schooling. She's paid for them to, live and do everything that they've wanted to do. The least you can do is show Simone respect and the home respect by taking care of what you got. I mean, simple as that. But I guess they'll learn the hard way, as most people do in life. So, yeah. Well, we're going to move on to our final scene. We are at our medical mission for the season, okay? And so Contessa is hosting this medical mission in Atlanta this year for the Diabetes Association, okay? So Contessa shows up, and so it looks like she's got plenty of people here to help her, which is beautiful. We are hosting a health fair today. We have a dentist there. We have doctors, gynecologists, mental health doctors. We have people that help with finances and bills and all sorts of things. So let me just say, first of all, I love the fact that they continue to bring help to the community, with different vendors and different associations that come to help us in our health. Our health is so important, especially in the times that we are in now. Sickness and everything else is just running rampant all across the air. So we have to, take care of ourselves, make sure we're staying in one piece. And so that is a beautiful thing that they always do every season, is a medical mission trying to help the city, country, or wherever they are at. So let's see. Heavenly and Damon are on the way, and so Heavenly said that she believes everybody is coming. Heavenly's coming to do her dental thing. Dr. Damon is coming to do his doctor thing. Heavenly says that she does not think it's a good idea that, Greg and Letitia come. And so, she did say that Heavenly invited them, as well as Quad and King, but King cannot come because of the alleged charges that Greg filed against him. Damon said that he feels that King is the most peaceful person that he's ever met, and he thinks this is foolishness, and he does not understand why King can't be around the group. He just wants everybody to get along and everybody to be on one accord. Quad shows up to the event, and she's here to help with the health fair.
Wait, I'm gonna let you finish for you. Mm-hmm. If he's the most peaceful person he ever met, then Dr. Damon need to get out more.
Mm-hmm.
You take off your shirt and you go buck up on the person
attacking someone.
Mm-hmm. And you're peaceful. He's trying to. Dr. G was trying to take his wife and calm his wife down. You walking up to him and talking about, yo, we gotta talk. Peaceful person you ever met?
Because let me say this real quick as well. Had this been a situation, and thank God it wasn't, but had this been a situation that Greg had a pow on him and you was running at him, he would have had the right to pow you down, because this is an attack. You're attacking him. And by law, he can pow you down. You're attacking him. I don't understand why everybody is so confused and don't understand why Greg chose to make the decision that he made. Like I told you, Diva, and I believe I said it on YouTube. Once I turn 30, I ain't fighting nobody. Let you put your hands on me. Let me think that you're gonna put your hands on me. I'm calling 911, and you will be down in the jail cell. You will be, and you're gonna have a civil suit against you. You're not gonna put your hands on me, and I'm not gonna fight you. You're going to jail. Period. Point blank.
Royaire, we on the same page. 911.
You won't.
Yeah. No, boo boo. 911. You ain't touching the diva. Put your hands on me.
What?
Breaking my glasses, scratching up my face. I'm grown. No, as soon as I think you coming, 911.
And Greg is a whole doctor.
Dr. Damon, you got the nerve because when Dr. Contessa told your wife to square up, she asked for security. Don't get me started. Go ahead.
Don't get me started because they just really pissed me off with this stupidness. It's just stupid, and they too old and too dumb and just ignorance. So Contessa says that she is the chair of the Diabetes Association for Georgia. She makes her little announcement. She welcomes everybody. We have Dr. Mimi, Dr. Jackie has come as well. They are helping out. We have Steve, who was helping out with the kids and football training. Everybody's got their little part of what they're doing. Scott, Stevie, Curtis, and Damon are all outside having a little conversation. And so Scott shares that he did, have a come to Jesus meeting with Greg, okay? And thank you. Thank you, Sassy. We just speaking the truth, okay? Sassy said, Diva and Royaire, y'all are killing this recap. I personally believe y'all two do it the best. Thank you, boo. We appreciate it. We love it. Thank you. We just coming in here sharing our thoughts and opinions and how we see things through our 2 eyes, okay?
That's it, and that's all.
And I wear glasses when I watch, so through my 4 eyes, okay? So, Curtis, Scott shares that he had a meeting with Greg and that Greg, is feeling some type of way because he feels like the guys that he's been around for over 10 years are not taking his side, okay? Damon says that, it doesn't seem like all of this was that serious. He feels like that Greg has taken it too far. He doesn't feel like that Greg needs to take this as far as filing charges because this can ruin someone's life. And let me say this. If King thought that this was going to ruin his life, he should have thought about the actions that he took before he did it. Okay. Stevie said that, he did talk to King as well, and that King just wants to move on from all of this. He's willing to have a sit-down conversation with Greg, but he just needs to move on and apologize, okay? What you apologizing for if you didn't do anything wrong?
That part.
Curtis feels that Greg brought all of this on himself. Curtis felt that Greg was the one that opened up his mouth and said what he said. And King, was just defending the queen that he is trying to be with. Now, here's my little situation with this whole men's conversation. It's funny to me that everybody can have an opinion on what they will and won't do until everybody's in that shoe. You didn't want you didn't want the men talking about when you cheated on Jackie, Curtis. Am I wrong?
Okay. You better talk and remind the people.
Scott, you didn't want the people all over you because just a couple of seasons ago, you was grabbing Contessa up from the table to walk away so that she can stop spreading all the business that you was doing to her.
Talk. Remind the people.
Funny how we easily forget. Oh, Heavenly. Dr. Damon, didn't you have to snatch Heavenly out of Cecil and Simone's house? And tell her to shut up? Oh, okay. I'm just bringing up the facts of things that happen on Married to Medicine.
But now we want to tell somebody how to feel when somebody was running after them that's way taller than them. That's built.
And younger than them. Got more stamina and energy. Oh, okay. I'm just bringing up the facts. Now, I'm just calling facts. That's just what I remember. And somebody correct me in the comment section if we wrong now. Correct us. Let us know. Because I don't want to call out things that are untrue. But I'm just recalling what I remember. That happened on Married to Medicine.
Let me add this one more again. When Contessa said square up, ho, Dr. Heavenly asked for security. She asked for security, but now all of a sudden, when something happened in this group, we handle it within the group. No, you asked for security, and then you got on your live saying they was taking too long. Okay.
Okay. Just calling things. Yeah, just recalling things. Okay. So let's see. Quad, Mimi, and Heavenly, along with Contessa, they have a little and Jackie, they had a little talk. And so, Contessa feels that it's wrong to put Letitia and Greg out the group. Contessa feels that, we should not mistreat Greg and Letitia based off of what happened to Quad, and we shouldn't mistreat Quad and Greg based off of what happened to King. We need to come together, be adults, and make things work out. And so Quad said, well, I'm confused because it seemed like Contessa is flip-flopping. Now, Contessa just said last week on the episode that none of this was her fault, Quad's fault, and that she understands, and, it's just not Quad's fault. But now this week, she's had a change of heart. And my thing is, like Wendy would say, I'm a woman and I can change my mind. Why can't she? Why can't she? Heavenly decided to jump in the conversation and say, well, when you have charges filed against somebody, it's completely different. We can't bring him around. Quad feels that her protector, her safety, her covering net is not allowed to come around, so she shouldn't be around. And if that's the case, ma'am, get off the show. Let's see. Contessa lets Quad know, listen, I understand what you're saying. I hear you, but I do want to let you know Letitia and Greg are on the way. They're coming. So, she went ahead and said, well, I'm going to get up out of here. We're going to move on. Let's go. And so her and Heavenly decided to leave together. Now, Diva, last I checked, we were here for a medical mission. And Heavenly loves to say that she's a doctor. Why would you leave the medical mission early to help people who are in need, to leave to go be with your friend who just last season you didn't follow when they went back to Atlanta because they got kicked out of California?
You better ask the people the question because I was trying to figure that one out.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. So, do you have any thoughts before I move on to the little last bit? Anything you want to say?
You can lump it all together.
Okay. So, Letitia comes in and she's feeling a little awkward. Things are a little awkward. Her and Greg come. And so Mimi and Contessa and Jackie have a little conversation with her. Mimi says the last time we met, I was a little confused because I didn't get a clear answer of exactly how you felt and what you want to do. Do you feel that you can handle yourself in this group emotionally and physically? Do you feel like you can really be a part? Do you mentally feel safe and secure in this group? Contessa asked her. And Letitia said, listen, I've been through all of this before. I've tried, I've done my part, and I can't do no more. I can't change Greg's mind. What happened. It is what it is. And if y'all got to pick a side, because Jackie said, well, we're just trying to get to a place where we don't have to choose. And yet again, Letitia said, if y'all feel like y'all got to choose, do what you got to do, okay? Make it be what it's going to be. Well, the men decided to pull Greg aside and go outside and take a sit down. And so, Curtis asked Greg, how you feeling? How's things going? I know we haven't talked since the last time we seen each other. And Greg says, he's doing what he can. He's making it. He's doing okay. So Scott, asked or shared with the guys that he did talk with Greg. And so Greg, did file charges. And so Steve asks, Greg, do you really feel that this little situation between you and King, is that big of a deal?
Not the little situation.
And Scott had to clear it up and say, well, listen, Greg doesn't feel like that this was a small situation. He feels like that someone attacked him. This is major and he had to do something about it. Greg said that he felt disrespected and that he will not tolerate the disrespect for him or his marriage. He said the only thing that he was doing was responding to the disrespect that Quad was bringing towards his marriage. And the last time I checked, Quad was disrespecting him, his wife, and their marriage. Now, Greg said it's kind of funny because I feel like I've known you guys the longest and you guys are taking King's side and I just don't understand. And just like Letitia said, Greg said the same thing. Sometimes you got to make choices. And I'm starting to wonder if the choice of me choosing to be a part of this group was the best choice. You know, he said, sometimes we put ourselves in positions where we got to consider what we do. He's done what he did, and it is what it is for Greg. And that was pretty much the wrapping up of this episode, episode 14, season 11, Choosing Sides. Y'all, I've been looking at your comments. I'm reading them. And it looks like a lot of y'all agree with us. Some of y'all are on the other side of the fence, which is okay. That's okay. But I'm looking at this from a right and wrong. Quad was wrong. She started it off by disrespecting this man's relationship and marriage. Quad doesn't allow disrespect to her or her situation. So why would you feel comfortable to disrespect somebody else and theirs? It's the constant double standards for me. It's okay for Quad to do things, but when those things are handed back to her, I'm just going by what I see, though. Your thoughts on all of that, Auntie?
So the whole idea of the health fair, I thought was beautiful, right? This to me is what they should be doing. This is married to medicine, right? So to educate the people about, you know, diabetes, to have this at the church and everything, and to have the different booths and the different stands, I thought it was great. I thought it was ridiculous that, you know, Dr. Heavenly says she's out and she took her husband with her, all because Sweet Tea and Dr. G were coming. You got to do things for the greater good. And for Quad to show up there in some scrubs and she's not even medicine is just totally insane. And to me, Quad should have been there with her cookbook because, like you said, she likes to cook, and she should have been offering information about how you can cook some meals that you love in a healthy manner. You understand what I'm saying? They always miss opportunities that are so great because they so into the foolery. How are you going to be grown adults and you missing these opportunities? And to me, you should have wait, she said, I thought the men were on King's side because a couple of them said they would have defended their lady as well. I'm gonna talk about that whole thing in a minute. So to me, it should have been an opportunity there. And afterwards, instead of them coming on their social media platforms with the nonsense, Quad, you should have came on social media after that episode and been promoting and selling your cookbook and telling the people, the first 100 or 200 or 300 people that go order my cookbook, you could get 10% off or 15% off or whatever with code XYZ. I mean, the stupidity of it all is just ridiculous, right? So now let's talk about how everybody is Team Quad and King. For them to take him outside in that hot sun, and Steve, you just came to that group, and you at the beach. Let's recall this. You at the beach when the ladies was arguing, you went over there to make sure your wife was good because you said you don't play about her, right? You said you don't play about her, but now you're going to be okay with another man telling a man that I can let Quad say whatever she wants to you. She can irk you. She can incite you. She can do all kind of things, but you better not say nothing to her. Miss me with the nonsense. No, if anything, if you was really going to be upright in this situation, you would have said, I'm going to speak to Quad and told Quad, don't say nothing to you. And I would ask you respectfully not to say nothing to Quad. And that's how that should have went down.
Yeah.
Okay. So and all the men siding with King in Quad, I thought it was despicable. Despicable. It was a disgrace.
So rude.
Yeah, it was a disgrace.
It really was.
And I'm gonna agree with you again on this. I'm gonna say this. That was a volatile relationship. Dr. G and Quad. It was just volatile. And does Dr. G lack a lot of emotional maturity? He does. But if you want to keep plucking and plucking and plucking and plucking and plucking and plucking somebody's buttons, they're going to snap. They're going to snap. And if they thought it was okay that on that beach, that Quad kept plucking and plucking and plucking and plucking, I don't get that.
And what confused me as well is, Toya said at the couples retreat that you're making me uncomfortable. So I know you making Greg uncomfortable. So how you flip-flop back on the Quad side, like she was so like, y'all, ooh.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it at all. And to me, now Greg is a mental health physician. It would make more sense to invite the mental health physician versus a person who has no degree in any kind of medicine. Quad nor King have no degree in any kind of medicine. So what are we going to have them here for? For what? What's she going to do? Take pictures and sign autographs? Well, anything else, Auntie?
No, they was disrespectful.
Yeah. Totally disrespectful. Everybody had a part to play in it. Nobody is innocent, but I have a problem with everyone trying to place blame on one person as if this one individual played in all of this mess. No. Quad had an equal part just as much as Greg did. And quite frankly, I feel my personal feelings. If Quad hadn't said anything about Greg and his relationship, we may not even be here today having this conversation.
I feel that's facts.
Stick to your man. You got this new man that you so in love with and you so happy with. Talk about what you and him got going on. Why you talking about your ex that you so over and that you so happy for and you wishing the best for them? Those are your words, Quad. Well, that was our recap of season 11, episode 14, Choosing Sides of Married to Medicine. As I stated earlier, we are live on both channels. So if you are on Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva, make sure you go over to Royaire's World, hit the like button and subscribe. And if you're on Royaire's World, make sure you go over to Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva, hit the like button and subscribe over there too. And turn your notification bells on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. Make sure you also share this live. I know we're coming to an end, but we have many people who watch our rewatch of our show. So we appreciate each and every one of you who are on the rewatch crew, and still feel free to share this with anybody that watches Married to Medicine. At the end of every recap, we like to hear your thoughts and opinions. So down in the comment section, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, please rate this episode 14 of Married to Medicine on a scale of 1 to 10. After me and Diva give our final thoughts, we will go through and read your ratings. Auntie, your final thoughts and opinions?
This episode was okay. I wasn't, it was an even flow to me. Yeah. And, I was trying to think of a number in my head, and then Emmanuel helped me. I'm going to give it a 5. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. I thought, and I just didn't like the way they was riding Sweet Tea and Dr. G under the bus. It was like, you went and sought them out to come back on this show as a couple. They did. They went and sought them out to come back on this show as a couple. You know what's the worst thing in the world, Royaire? When you have somebody that you think is your friend and you find out on the back end that they're not, that they're using you, that they're playing you. And I think they've been playing Sweet Tea from the moment she arrived on the scene. But I tell you, she a young girl, but she, you know what? She's standing her ground. She holding out. She's strong. And I mean, in real time, they really just ran the bus over her. It's just very, very sad how they ran the bus over her. But you know what? Blessings to Sweet Tea for being able to stand and withheld the test of time. And I'm one just in real time. I'm talking even on your regular job. I tell people all the time, don't let nobody run you off of your check, off of your money. I would come back, Royaire, and let Bravo run me my cash and I would give all of them a run for their money. No, yes. My husband is not backing down. You're going to stay out of my face, in my husband's face. And no, I will not be in the room with Miss Quad.
She don't got it. She don't got it.
That part. Now, how about that? And I will let them know my husband is married to medicine. Her boyfriend or not. Check that.
Check that. Look, in the words of Nene, bam!
Damn. Damn.
Yes. Overall, this episode gets a 3 for me. You know, I'm really over these ladies. I'm truly disappointed. You know, in my opinion, from the way I see things, they stabbed Letitia in her back, came to her front, showed her the knife, and said, "Yeah, we did it. Now go." That is exactly what has happened. And I agree with you. I would stay on this show. I would film scenes by myself, just like Mariah did. I would be that girl and continue to move forward. You know, and I believe I've expressed this once before, but I'm going to say it again. I'm truly disappointed in the ladies of Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. Y'all know this young lady is trying to get pregnant. Y'all know that she has had issues getting pregnant, and the constant stress and turmoil and tension and everything that y'all continuously bring to them as a couple. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Disappointed. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous that people in their 60s and 50s are treating someone in their 30s who is trying to grow up, you know, find her way in this business we call entertainment, you know, and this is the example that y'all lead for her. This is what y'all do. So for me, y'all get a 3.
And just trying to be a new wife. Just trying to be a new wife. Because relationships, I don't want to say they're hard, but you know what I'm trying to say, Royaire. They're work. It ain't easy. Yeah. Just, yeah. So,
shameful.
Yeah. Shameful.
Well, Lexi is giving it an 8. Emmanuel is giving it a 5, like you said. Snoopy is giving it a 7.5. Precious is giving it a 6. Marcy is giving it a 6. Hit that like button on both channels, please. Thank you, Katrina. We appreciate you. Juanita is giving it a 6. Is it Toadette is giving it a 5. Denzel is giving it a 4. Katrina is giving it a 5. Lexi said an 8 for Married to Medicine. Tony is giving it a 4. Renee is giving it a 5. Tiffany, exactly. Okay. Raheem, 3. The messy house brought down the episode for me. Disgusting. Yes. It was nasty. It was really, really nasty.
It was nasty. There ain't nothing else to say about it. It was nasty.
Yeah, it was disrespectful. Let's see. Toadette says she is over it, Royaire. Listen, I am definitely with you on that. Paula, that's what I was thinking, of 5. You nailed it, Royaire. Thank you. Diva, they agree. Toadette agrees with you. 7 for Ms. Doggin. Do is giving it a 4. Okay. Well, that has been our recap of episode 14, season 11 of Married to Medicine, Choosing Sides. As I stated earlier in the episode, next week is going to be the season finale. India is giving it a 1. Oh no. Okay. We are in the season finale next week, which I'm so excited because I'm really over Married to Medicine and the ladies. I'm just really, really over it. The back and forth, the 1 minute we friends, the next 1 minute not. And I know that's how kind of the shows kind of work or whatever, but this has just been, it's just been too much for me. The constant tormenting of Letitia and Greg and acting like that they're just the worst people in the world, and you know, I'm just over it. I have had enough. So next week will be the season finale. It looks like we got a 3-part reunion coming up as well. So we will be recapping that. So make sure you stick with us on Married to Medicine. We also started off our first recap of season 16 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta on yesterday. We had many of you watch that live, and so we appreciate each and every one of you. And I had a major rewatch crew, so shout out to the rewatch crew who came through. We appreciate y'all. So we are recapping Housewives of Atlanta on Mondays and Married to Medicine on Tuesdays. So please stay tuned to our channels. Like we said earlier, I know some people have been having problem with the notification bell. So if you can go to both of our channels, turn the notification bell on off completely, then reload your page. I would suggest reloading your page, then turn it back on all on both of our channels. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. Make sure tonight around 8:30 you join Diva for trending topics. I'm sure Miss Auntie Wendy Williams will be on the topic possibly tonight. Yes, so make sure you tune in to give your thoughts and opinions on that as well. Am I missing anything?
No, I think we got it all.
We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and leave your thoughts and opinions down below and your notification bells on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Royaire's World.